Okay, so it's been a data day over here at Silicon Dojo. So now that we've done a couple of classes, so we've done 3 seminars in our new space, we've done 2 hands-on classes in our new space, plus we did 3 full-day classes before, and lots and lots and lots of seminars before. So basically, I'm now getting to the point where I actually have to start tracking our students and trying to get a better idea of just the environment that Silicon Dojo is working in. So basically, what students are coming, how often they come, where are they coming from, all of these just little data points so I can get a better idea of the overall functioning of Silicon Dojo. So I subscribe to MEETUP Pro. So there's MEETUP, as most people use, and then you can do MEETUP Pro. And MEETUP Pro is supposed to give you all of these fancy tools to make your life easier as somebody running a meetup. And, well, that's the idea. That's the thought. Sadly, I think they stopped updating Meetup probably in about 2019. Meetup is a very weird company. It's a company that should be doing very well, but literally you'll find interfaces that haven't been updated since something like 2014 or 2015. And they're interspersed with interfaces that were updated not that long ago. And so one of the issues you run into with dealing with Meetup is it does collect some useful information, but they don't really give you a good way to visualize that information, right? And actually do something with it. And one of the things that you can do is you can actually download a lot of reports and things, and it's what is called a CSV file, a comma separated value file. And then once you have downloaded it into a CSV file, you can use Python or PHP or some other language to go through and try to parse, basically try to read that file and come out with information that might be interesting to you. So one of the things I've talked about a lot is with the PHP programming language, right? The PHP programming language originally, the idea back in the 1990s, was the idea of what if we had a programming language that was so easy to use, secretaries could use it. Sadly, every time I talk about this in the technology world, people laugh at me because coders never want to think about a lowly secretary actually being able to write if-else statements. But one of the arguments that I make is if we could actually have secretaries or admin assistants or whatever the hell they're called nowadays be able to do some coding, I think that would be valuable all the way around. And so that's what I want to kind of show you today. So we've got this CSV now file. Now to be clear, I've hidden all the fields that people would care about with the CSV file. It's actually interesting. You get the lat long, so where they've logged into. You get the latitude and the longitude. You get their email addresses. You get a member ID, so you actually get a unique identifier. That's all gone. You can't see that here. But basically what we can see is we can see these people's names. We can see the cities that they're from. We can see the events that they've attended, whether they're an email subscriber, when they joined, and a whole bunch of other information here, right? And if we scroll through, we can see on my Meetup account, we're up to about 530, right? So little old me has about 530 members. And so one of the big issues is how do you deal with this information, right? That's a big thing in the IT world, the information technology world. It's how do you take this raw data and then turn it into something that might be useful for somebody. So anyway, so I've been playing around with this little script today, written about 48 lines of code, not too much. But the question that I have here is basically, I want to find the members that have actually come to a number of my classes or seminars. So here it's basically with this Y. So if somebody has come to more than 5 classes, I want them to be printed out. And then the other thing that I'm interested in is how many cities or what cities people are coming from. So basically, if there's like more than 3 people that are a member from a particular city, I want that printed out. And what's cool here, right? So we take this script, and I can simply hit the run. It'll go through and it'll show me my members who have actually come to 5 or more things at this point. So Kareem Martin has come to 5. Martin Lehner came to 13. Steve came to 10. I've come to 51 of my own meetups. And so basically this is a way to take 530 members and digest it down into something that's a little easier to deal with, right? And I can go up here, and if I want to make this, get more people, I could go down to 2. Let's say is greater than or equal to 2. I can run that, and now we can see all the people that are in that member list that have been to at least one of the events, right? And this can be a very useful thing in this modern world where it's so easy to sign up to crap, but it doesn't necessarily mean people are showing up. So there's a difference. There's a difference between how many people are in your email list and how many people actually show up to something, right? And so with this script, and again, there's not too much here, right? For X in file member. This is basically what we're doing here. It creates this, and most of this is actually just some formatting stuff so we can make everything in one line. So in about 10 or 15 lines of code, we can actually pop out and see how many people have come to at least 2 of my presentations. Then we go down here and we see the cities, right? So that's one of the big questions. What cities people are coming from? So for Asheville, I have 146 members from Asheville. Hendersonville, I have 6 members from Hendersonville, 6 members from Weaverville, 4 members from Candler, 6 from Chicago, 3 from Mumbai, 13 from New York, right? And one of the things that can be very useful here, think about this if you're a decision maker, right? You're a C-level executive, you're trying to figure out where to put your money. So think about things like an ad spend, right? You're sitting there, you're trying to figure out where should you spend more advertising. And if you see, right, for some reason, someplace like New York City, you actually have a decent number of people coming from someplace you may not actually expect. This may be the place to put advertising in, right? Maybe people are literally willing to fly in from New York City for whatever it is that you're doing. So advertising in New York City might actually make more sense than advertising in Atlanta or Charlotte, someplace that's closer to you. So anyways, I just kind of thought this was an interesting thing to show you folks. I'm sitting here, basically I'm trying to figure out how to turn this into an actual little app. That'll be useful for me. So I want to track people that don't RSVP. So just, again, if you sign up for my classes, the one thing I will tell you is about the only way to get on my bad side is do not show up when you RSVP. Hands-on classes. There are actually computers for everybody that shows up. If you don't show up, not only does that mean somebody else wasn't able to learn, but it also means I actually set up your computer. I did work that went to waste. And so one of the things I'm doing with this is I want to import all of this into my own data set with their own unique ID. Then I want to be able to track who does show up and who doesn't show up. People who do show up will get points. People who don't show up will lose points. And then that'll be a way that we can kind of create almost like a ranking system or whatever, but based off of people's actual actions. If you show up, that's what I really care about. If you show up and you come, then you should be, you should be supported by the organization. If you RSVP and then don't come, yeah, we don't want a lot of those people. So you should be demoted or whatever within the organization. But yeah, so there you go. Just some things to think about. And again, that whole idea of having secretaries know how to code, again, in the modern world, really is not so as wacky as you may think. So anyways, if you like these kinds of videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like these kinds of videos, give them a thumbs up. Give a share, give a comment, do all that kind of stuff. And I'll see y'all later.